Hi guys, sorry that I had to cut the other video short, but as you know, at the jail, the story was not finished, so I decided to have a part two. This is gonna be the part two because that video was getting too long, and I know how it gets when a video is really too long. So please forgive me for that. Let's take it from here. And she's just gonna take it from, because I know from the part one she was still telling us about how she got home to find the logs changed. So now I'm very interested to hear that part. And if you really did enjoy the other video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, Piwe some love. Let's show my girl some love because I feel like she's the bravest, the cutest, and the sexiest mom ever. Anyways, you can take it from your dad.
So I get home, the locks are changed. And then, hey, I know the locks are changed. What's going on? And then I just decided to wait by the gate because I knew it's like roughly 30 minutes before my younger sister arrives. When my younger sister arrives, she opens. I'm like, so I'm the one who doesn't have the key.
What about me?
What is going on? Am I being chased away? Only to find out, guys, my sister leaves for a transport at 6:30 a.m.
Okay.
So my dad feels it's convenient for her to have his key as a gate so that she can go open for herself when she's going to the transport. Yeah, well, not that I was being chased away.
But you know the funny thing about life is that if you do something wrong, and then again now they dish up for you, and like maybe they dish up like a little less than normal, you feel like
punished.
It's some sort of punishment, and sometimes it's not even the case. But because
it was just the lock, guys. My dad changed the lock because now the lock was stiff, and he felt he wanted to give my sister a key. So the only way to give my sister a key is to only change the lock so that the lock can be easily opened, and then we're right.
So how did you approach the situation where you...
I just called my mom because I get in the corner. This guy, I didn't even tell him but I was pregnant on my own. I'm not going to ask why did he change the locks. I just asked my mom, and my mom was like, oh no, he just passed by my work. He just gave me the key. Your key is with me. I'm like,
at least
I'm not chased away.
I'm still a daughter.
So yeah, it was that.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I found out.
Okay, so let's talk about, holistically. I want to talk about it holistically. So okay, there was all of that, you were getting support, but did you ever get to a point where you were like, if I had known earlier, I would have had an abortion?
No.
Why?
Yeah, abortion they are eager, guys. And but I feel for me, because at home we are so spiritual people, and at home we are so traditional people, me doing abortion would call a lot of things. Manje, I have to go home for cleansing. I because it's a vital thing that needs you to do things like cleansing. If I was just from a typical rich family, I'm not disputing rich families, people, guys.
Yeah.
A family where they don't follow tradition, they don't follow spirituality, I would have just
had enough. So you think you would have if it was not because of... So you think you were not ready to have a baby, so much so that if it was not the case of the spiritual side of things, you would have had an abortion? You still wouldn't have? Okay.
No, I still wouldn't have.
And then did you ever feel depressed?
Yeah, I did.
How did you deal with it? How did you deal with it?
Let me first say this. I had a teacher guys at school. This one, all I wrote shall be if you like it. But I felt she treated me differently. They treated me so unfair. Because now I don't want to say I was popular in school, but I was kind of well known because I was a prefect, I was doing well in school and all those things. They kind of like knew me. Ne?
Yeah.
So this teacher, rumors start going around in school, but I'm pregnant. Ne?
Yeah.
And then the news comes, is figure teacher, but first figure like there's a prefect that is pregnant. She literally went to every class that has a prefect, and then she was like, if she was having a period in that class, she's like, I know there's a prefect that is pregnant. Why?
Yeah, because I feel like it's something very private, and at that time maybe you're not ready to disclose it yet. So her doing that is now drawing attention, because you know how high school can get, like you can get bullied very like easily, simply because you are just going through a certain thing. So I feel like for her to do that, did it also contribute to your self-esteem?
It did, because now I was ducking and diving of people, because people were trying to add one and one together. Uba, it can't be her. She wasn't absent on a certain day, but this one was absent. This one is now getting bigger. This one, you know. Now
Also,
I
now
had
people were now showing attention, like they were trying to add puzzles, because
now they see I'm shy and all those things, because I was shy. I would wear my blazer, my jersey, my scarf, everything that would just cover me.
okay.
You wake up in the morning, you wear your shaper, you are trying to shape, you are trying to, yeah,
Yeah.
and then I got a lot of my depression from school, I must say, because there were rumors bangapa. Now my baby daddy is a teacher. I remember they said it's my life science teacher, because I was so good in life science that my teacher, you see, when a teacher is genuinely appreciative of the fact that you're good in the subject, they even give you extra material to practice and all of those things. So they said now I was getting extra material because now I had
his baby. You were getting his baby. So
and you see, when you're in a situation where you can't even defend yourself, because you're like, why are you doing this? Like,
and you know that either way, like,
yeah,
it's not gonna change the fact that you are pregnant,
yeah,
and it's not gonna help anyone hear anything. Like, it does make sense. So do you, like, let's talk about school. Were you able to carry on with school? How long did you manage to go through everything? Like, let's just talk about school in general.
I went to school sharp, but like I said, there were rumors, there were comments, people who didn't like me, people who were like, "Vele,
We've always seen it.
Uba, she's not so perfect because now she's a prefect, she has her academics going on and total. Vele, what did you expect? Oh, shame. Yeah, they will strip her off the prefectship, all those negative things they were saying about me, and it did really affect me, I must say, emotionally, because you know, when you sit down and you ask yourself, why are these people bad to me? Like, what is going on? What did I do to these people? Why are they being so mean? They would say, but my baby dad is a taxi driver, is a blesser, is a donor. Yes, they
But
knew.
didn't they know that you were in a relationship with
They clearly
someone?
knew I was in a relationship with this person.
Okay.
And I've always been in a relationship with him. There was no other person I had been in a relationship with.
So what do you think gave them the right to assume certain things? Like, what do you think gave them the right to speak?
Because they hated me.
Oh, so it was just a thing of them saying it because you were so good in life science and you were so good at school and you were this and that. Okay, so were you able to complete the
And there
year?
were girls in my class who were angry, because back in grade 9 there was a girl who was chased away because of pregnancy. And rumor has it that I am the one who went to the teachers and told the teachers that she's pregnant. And yet I didn't even know she's pregnant.
So now, so your school, is there a rule at your school that says if you are pregnant then you can't attend school? So did they not chase you out of school?
They didn't chase me out of school, I wouldn't say, because chase is a harsh word, but they asked me to leave. I remember the first time when my deputy principal got the news of hey, she called me over. I went there so confident. I was like, that's when they are actor. I went there, and then she's like, there are rumors that you are pregnant. Pregnant.
So you were
And
hoping
that
to be
time-
able to finish your grade at least. Okay.
Because I was already like beyond
almost
halfway through.
Okay.
It was like now July.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was July, and it was during winter. July. Yeah, I think it was July. I had literally 4 weeks between me and giving birth. 5 weeks between me and giving birth. That's how close I was. That's how close I was. I remember the struggles. I went through a lot of struggles, but there are 2 incidents that stood out for me. One, the incident where in my class, we contributed Boma 40 Rand so that at the end of the month we celebrate people's birthdays. Mind you, I'm a class rep in my class. Like prefects, if you're a prefect in that particular class, you become the class rep.
Yeah.
So when the cake comes, the food comes, I am the one who's distributing and everything. And I can't act weird because now it's going to raise suspicions.
Yeah.
So I'm there already. My classmates are already suspecting that this girl is pregnant, and some even like confirmed that I am pregnant and all those things. Now, chiki, I'm cutting the cake. Did they not say we're having a baby shower? I was so sad. I was so sad because they were like, because my birthday is in January, and now my teacher was like, we're gonna just celebrate one person at a time,
Okay.
and fit them in other months. So I happen to be in that July month. Yeah, well, I happen to be in that July month. They like, it's like girls, cake, because Galop we're having a baby shower. You know those girls.
You know, I'm laughing, man, because your face was priceless. They're like, did they not say we're having a baby shower? But I feel like it was really mean of them to do that. It was really, really mean. Because I feel like as girls, we need to support each other instead of fight each other. And I feel like at that time, they had to not say anything because they were not sure. You know, I feel like the thing about it is that a lot of them were not sure. What if it turned out that it was not true?
What were they gonna say?
What were they gonna say? So after they said that to you, but we're having a baby shower, how did you react? Like, how did you deal with the whole thing?
I kept quiet.
So you just kept quiet through everything?
I just kept quiet through everything because I just chose my battles in the sense that I was faced with the fact that to pregnant so you can't stress over nonsense.
Yeah, and you're closer to
and I'm trying to figure out a way of getting through this year without being caught or without being chased away from school.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Fine. No problem. They would make remarks like if I didn't do my schoolwork and then the teacher wants to beat me, they're like, how I'm betting she's fragile. Oh, okay, they're like, hi guys, close the windows and the doors. It's winter kalok asilanga soto.
So let's translate that. Sorry. So the first one means don't beat her too much because she's fragile. She's fragile. You know what that means? It means she's pregnant. And secondly, they'd be like, let's close the windows
because it's winter and we're not alone.
We are not sitting alone. And I feel like it's pretty mean. Like it's really, really mean. And I don't know, but did it somehow make you stronger? What about your self-esteem, your confidence?
At that point, it didn't. At that particular point, it didn't.
It didn't make you stronger?
Yeah, because I went from being, I went from being so confident to being so reserved and not speaking at all. The only people I spoke to was my baby dad and my friends. That's it.
So with your baby daddy, while they were saying all of those things about you being pregnant with a taxi driver, or you being pregnant with your life science teacher, didn't it affect him? Or he didn't say anything?
I wouldn't say it affected him, but he would ask, because at the end of the day, he's a guy, he's being thrown with a big responsibility. Of course he wants to be sure, even though he's sure, but he wanted to be like sure. And what I liked is that he didn't insinuate it. He was just like, hey, this is bothering me. I'm being continuously hearing this. What's your take on it? And then the number, I don't know why they're saying these things. And I remember we even fought about it, but because now I was so fragile, he'd be like, you know what, let's not speak about this because now it's making you cry, it's making you what? Because now I started crying easily, I started being emotional and everything. So he'd be like, yeah, no, it's fine, let's just stop talking about it, it's fine. Now I'm certain about us and everything.
So how was it getting through that year?
Still saying my journey to my deputy principal.
Okay.
So ngiyafika ku-deputy principal, but deputy principal is like, I girl, how you are pregnant.
Yeah, I hear the people saying you're pregnant.
I'm like, me?
That can't be me.
Ati, then where is the rumor coming from? Dati, my previous friend, we were best friends then, and then when she changed schools, she just decided to desert me. I don't know why. She got pregnant when she got to the other school. So I'm like, my friend Mem, she got to the other school and became pregnant. So now everyone was like,
because she's pregnant too.
I'm also pregnant. I remember she even said I must take off my blazer, and then she said I must change positions. So I was there. I'm like, I trust you, my shaper, because I was wearing this tights that shape,
Yeah.
so that they don't give me a shape of a pregnant person. I was there. I'm like, my principal is like, ah, Shem, you're not pregnant. I'm like, I went out, and then she's like, but I do need to see your mom though and speak about this and all those things. So I'm thinking today, but she just saw, but I'm trying as hard as I can to just stay escorting. And
Yeah.
then she called my mom, and then my mom is like, I'm not going to deny anything. If she wants you out of the school, she wants you out. If she wants you in, she wants you in. And then that's how I got off school.
Oh, so then you took that year off. Okay, so I don't know. I feel like this video is also getting a bit long, but we can definitely do another video about your labor and delivery story. But that is only
there's
with
literally nothing interesting, guys. I just went there, out. There's nothing.
Okay,
There's nothing amazing.
Yeah.
Per se.
Okay, so we can just end it with you giving an advice to the others, like according to your experience, especially those who are gonna go through the same thing as you, or those who went through the same thing as you, those who couldn't come out strong. Like just in a few words, just keep warmth. Just let them understand. Be there for them.
Hey guys, there's no formula. There's literally no formula, but I feel the sooner you accept a situation, the better you figure out how to live with it. Ne?
Okay.
I'm not perfect about it, but I saw if I had taken that route, a lot of things would have changed. Not changed, but would have been handled better.
Okay.
Because I took long to accept my child. Like I took so long to accept, but I have a baby. Mina, after I gave birth, I wanted to go to a musical concert.
Day after, or like just that period after?
Not day after, but like period after, when she was like 2 months. I'm like, Mama, can I go to the natives? You know?
Yeah.
And then
So
my mom is like,
basically,
it hasn't synced in that you have a baby, right? I'm
you are
like,
a mother.
so, but it was really hard. And then there was a point where I had to go back to school. And mind you, I'm going back to this one school. I will no longer be a prefect. People hated me. People said things about me. Don't. But I was like, you know what? It's okay. It's fine. This thing has happened. I'll take it as it comes.
Yeah.
It was super hard. I would literally move out of home very early so that I prepare myself that I'm going to school. I prepare myself that I'll be entering. These teachers will be asking me about my child. Some act like they are wanting to see the child on the phone. Like, is the child grown and everything? But they just want an update of how ruined my life is. You know? Even same with other students. Same thing had happened. Now I have to be in a grade lesser than my students, my
Your
friends,
peers, yeah.
my friends. Because now I remember the way I was so hurt when they had their tie ceremonies, when they had their MJs, when it was the matric dance. But because I said this, the support I got from my parents is remarkable. If it wasn't for them and my friends, I wouldn't have
Made it.
I wouldn't have made it through. And people always dispute like having friends around sensitive situations, but my friends particularly were there for me. I remember my friends even had my mom's number, so that if anything could happen to me and I'm like in school, look, and you were working in town, they can quickly call my mom. They would ask in the morning, "Ba, Chomi, I'm passing by Spa. Do you want mango juice?" Yeah, both things like that. And I feel it was a great thing to have such a support system. So my advice is that if you don't have a support system, be your own support system, because you might not be as lucky as I was to get supporting parents. Be your own support system as much as you can. Try and accept the situation so that you can live with it. Do not dwell on enhancing how big this problem is, that I am so pregnant, my life is ruined. It's okay. It's okay to mourn the pain. It's okay to cry about it. It's okay to not know where to from here. But just trust yourself, pray about it, and find. I always say, even finding a random person to tell, because that person won't tell anyone, because they don't. You just sit next to a person in the taxi sit next to a person in a text and start saying things to them and be like, you know, I'm pregnant, this and this and this and this. Even if they get off the taxi in KwaZulu-Natal and start saying things about you, you will never know, because now they will never see you again. But you have like let something out of you. And some other people are genuinely advice givers. And give you like good advice, you know.
And I feel sometimes like good advice like you usually get good advice from the people who really don't know you, because they don't have a reason to be jealous about,
or people who
jealous
don't even relate
of
to the
you.
situation. You know, people who's just there is a student, like as a student, a person who's just non-relatable to the story, a person is just gonna say, you know what, I feel you should this and this and this and this. It's not easy, but it's doable. You know, cry about it, yes, pray about it, write about it, curse about it, you know, be like, I regret this, but at the end of the day, the sooner you accept I am pregnant, the sooner you get to decide where to from here and how to live with the situation. And with people who have like baby daddy issues, where your baby daddy is denying the child and everything, I also had issues where I was constantly told, the period after I went out of school, I was constantly told that my baby daddy is remaining with other girls and all that, but it didn't break me. Yes, I was hurt, but it didn't break me, because the one thing I told myself is that the main focus is my baby at the moment. If he decides to leave me, he decides to leave me. There is literally nothing I can do about that. And you know, when you pray about something, you kind of know where to go, even if you don't know where to go. I don't know whether I'm making sense. You feel like at least there's a support. It's hard. I remember even after I gave birth, my child would cry, and I would cry too. I would cry because I'm like, I bathed you, I fed you, I changed this, I did this. I was scared. What if whilst I'm breastfeeding her, I suffocate her? What if she just chokes on the food I give, so she dies on my hands? She cries, she does this. I literally was tired. She would wake up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 2:45, 1:45, don't. Even though my parents were there supporting me, I felt like sometimes it's hard, because I had to do the necessary things that I have to do. My mom was not going to breastfeed for me. My mom was not going to stop work and come and sit at home with my child. But she would support me. She would call me during the day. After her meeting, we have like an hour phone call. I remember when there was a bird in the house. A bird had got in the house. I'm on the phone call with my mom, and then my mom was like, take the broom, like chase after it. Like, you see those moments where someone is actually carrying my baby dad would. It's not a good thing. My baby dad would bunk school and come just to check about how are you guys doing, like bring me some like food and all those things. He even had the balls to face my father. Of course, some of you are like, obviously he had to, but he didn't have to. For God's sake, he could have just abandoned us and went his way, but he was there. So I feel just trust in yourself, pray about it, and even if you fear going back to school, you fear reclaiming your life, you fear doing your life again, do it scared. Do it scared, because I went to school crying, but I passed my grade 12. I went to school knowing that there are these negative people who are gonna say this to me, because now my baby dad was no longer in school. But I did it scared, and look where I am now.
Guys, let me be honest. I feel like I've known Piwe for like a few months now, and we became very close, and we used to speak about these things, but I really didn't know that it was that deep, and I really didn't know that she went through so much. So for that, I must say that I feel like she's the strongest, because while I was listening to her right now, there were points where I was zoning out, and I was actually thinking about it, and I was actually putting myself in her shoes, and I was actually imagining how I would have felt and how I would have dealt with the whole thing. And I don't want to say I wouldn't have coped or I wouldn't have went through it, because I feel like you get strength from certain situations. And also, I have supportive parents. I feel like I would have gotten through it the way she's saying that she had supportive parents, but I feel like I would have been so hard on myself that most of the pain I would have felt would have been self-inflicted pain. So instead of, you see, I would hear everyone saying all of that, but at the end of the day, I feel like I would have caused myself more pain than anyone else. So it really, 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 I don't know, like it really, really does. It's touching me, and I'm trying so hard not to tear up because
I have been holding.
I'm like, throughout the whole conversation, I'm there trying to laugh it off, to just smile it off, but I feel like I look up to the way she dealt with situations. I mean, going from knowing that you are pregnant with your mom there to now having to get out of to go to school where people are saying things about you, where people are making little situations seem extremely big, and as if you're the first person to fall pregnant, and now moving to now being out of school and hearing that your baby daddy is busy because people just want to inflict pain in you, and now having to stay at home to raise your child, now being scared to raise the child, and she still didn't have postnatal depression. I honestly, I have to say that these are stories that I honestly enjoy hearing because I take little things from them, and from this story I honestly took that at times, you know, at times you can be also good, your life can be going also well, and then just one thing can take you 10 steps back, and it's up to you to take those 10 steps to the front again, but take them at a pace this time around. And sometimes also when things happen, when things now okay, I feel like at certain times suicide does seem like an option, because I was listening to a story and I was like, I feel like at this point I would have just ended my life. But now while she kept talking, and then I remembered, I heard her saying that she had to pick herself up and she did it afraid, and I feel like that's what I would have at that time probably did it afraid. And then look at her now, she's a varsity student, she's doing extremely well, and then I believe, knowing her, I always say that I feel like she's the smartest person in my class, because she's always, you wouldn't even know that at some point she had her self-esteem damaged. And I know I'm talking a lot, I'm rambling a lot. That's because I have a lot of emotions and things I want to say so much that I even stopped eating, guys. I still have my food, I haven't finished anything because wow, it was just getting so much. But like right now, I'm just gonna leave you guys with the word that says that sometimes, as I said in the previous videos, only God knows the plans He has for you, and those plans are to prosper you and not to harm you.
Exactly.
And sometimes when you let God be God,
be the center,
and when you let God rule, things just work out for your good. And at times, as afraid as you can be, as disappointed as you can be, sometimes it's time you dust yourself up and you stand up and you're like, I'm gonna do it, no matter how bad it can be, or no matter how rough it will be, or no matter how hard it will be. At the end of the day, I will do it. That for me is one thing that I'm gonna take from today, and I'm gonna start practicing. And yeah, thank you guys for watching till this far. This video is a bit long, but I feel like it's necessary information that I had to share. So if you like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and also turn on your notification bells. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.